Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the finale of the Dark Souls trilogy. And what better way to end it than to play one of my, if not my most favorite game, Dark Souls 3. Now this game is ranked the hardest of the three, but also the most enjoyable. And to be honest, I can see why it's the hardest. No! Now before we get into the video, I want to thank you all for the support on my last two videos. It is greatly appreciated. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. To start off the game, I choose a sorcerer for its high level of intelligence, and I choose a Sovereign's Soul for my starting gift. It is now time for the most important part, the customization.
Do looks matter? Sure, sometimes. Do looks really matter? Not at all. You know what matters? Being funny, being cool.
This is Susan. And with that, the run begins. And the first thing you do is... Oh my god! Holy shit! Yeah, Susan's also blind in her left and right eye. So yeah, she's just blind. But makes her makes all her other senses enhanced. She can hear sound. Smell color. After giving you a brief backstory of Susan, I decided to try and kill the big lizard again. Are you fucking no, he gets to live. He gets to live. After getting the Titanite shard, I went to fight the first boss of the game, Gundyr.
I am awake.
Now unfortunately my weapon wasn't too strong, but it doesn't take away from the fact that Gundyr is an absolute pushover. And with that, he was very easy. While making my way to Firelink Shrine, I stopped to show the Sword Master a lesson on gravity. I then made my way over to get the Estus Flask shard and the Silver Covetous ring. First try, holy shit. I upgraded my Estus Flask, and then I made my way to the High Wall of Lothric.
Fetch me their souls! What the dog doing?
I then went to get another Titanite shard, and for some reason these guys are harder to kill than the first boss, Gundyr. My ears, holy shit. After backtracking a little, I made my way to get a bit of gold pine resin, and after evading the dragon, I made quick work of a mimic. Holy shit, that was so close. After resting at the next bonfire, I got my third Titanite shard and then made my way to fight another one of these weird snake things. After doing a little more exploring, I got my fourth Titanite shard. I then made this knight turn around, touch its toes, and I showed him where the monster goes. In this next area, I picked up a Titanite shard and an Estus Flask shard, and then I opened the shortcut from the bonfire. After getting aggressively poked, I took the banner and then made my way to 5 Vord. And to no one's surprise, it was extremely easy. I mean, how could you even die to this boss? Hello. It's pretty close. After my mini heart attack, I decided to do a bit of leveling. And if you're wondering why I'm only leveling my faith to my intelligence, I want to use the Chaos Bed Vestiges, as it's probably the strongest pyromancy in this game. I made sure to upgrade my Estus Flask, and then I made my way to the Undead Settlement. And boy do I love this place. Dude, oh my god, man. And for the first time in this game, I was given the 4-pronged plow. Well, it's just kind of good. After collecting my 5th and 6th Titanite shard, I got to the next bonfire. After dodging arrows shot by a giant with homicidal tendencies, I picked up an undead bone shard, made my way to another bonfire, and then freed the pyromancer. By this point, I could get my weapon of choice for the game, so I made my way towards it. Now that we're at the Road of Sacrifices, I think it's important that I explain the game plan. You see, in Dark Souls 3, there's a weapon called the Sellsword Twin Blade, and on its own it's really good, but if you infuse it with a sharp gem, it gets an A scaling in dexterity and becomes this. After running past the weird bird people, I made it to the bonfire. From here I was able to get my weapon. I picked up the Farm Call and then returned to Firelink Shrine to level up the weapon and to collect the Pyroman's Flame. I did a bit of leveling and then I went back to the Undead Settlement to fight the Fire Demon.
Whoa! You should have waited!
After being saved by Sigurd, I collected the Flynn's ring and the Chloranthy ring, and then I did a small bit of leveling again. After getting the sharp gem, I had to deal with this bum. I infused my weapon with sharp, and then went to the road to sacrifices again. From here, I watched two guys lose their balance, extinguish the first and second flame, and then... Yo, I'm dead. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god, slugs. I'm getting flashbacks to Dark Souls 1. Down to a fucking slug that breathes fire. I collected the undead bone shard, and then made my way to the Wolf of Farm bonfire. After taking the elevator, I collected 2 large titanite shards, and then went to go fight the asylum demon. Look at this fat ass. I didn't struggle with him in Dark Souls 1, I'm not gonna struggle with him here. Fuck. Oh, okay. Oh my fucking god, bro. However, on this try, I had a different mindset, and after a quick save and quit, I killed him very easily. Boom, first try, holy shit, that was so easy. I did a bit of leveling of Firelink Shrine, and then returned to Farron Keep, and attempted to extinguish the third flame. Oh, I'm actually, like... He doesn't have health. He has 0 health. What the fuck, man? And finally, after narrowly escaping the gorilla, I extinguished the third flame. But it appears the gorillas hold a grudge. Do you know what? I actually don't give a fuck at this point, because fuck these rats, man. Holy shit, they're disgusting looking. After lighting the bonfire, I was forced to fight a dark raid. Now I think it's about time we fight the Abyss Watchers. What the fuck, man? No way. Now the Abyss Watchers are a relatively easy boss, just due to the fact that I used a bit of Estus getting here is going to be a bit of a challenge. So I have to be a little extra careful. Why shouldn't I die here? Simple as. I can't do anything. Yeah, let's try that again. I'm dead, bro. Yeah, that was pretty easy. After getting to the catacombs, I rushed for the bonfire, making sure to kill this guy, so in the future I could pick up an undead bone shard. After eventually getting to the bonfire, I returned to Firelink to do a bit of leveling, and while making my way to Smoldering Lake, this happened. Yeah, don't do what I just did anyway, because you fucking die. However, while trying to return, you know what? I'll just show you what happened. Oh my fucking god. This time, I ran past the fire demon and got to the bonfire, and then picked up all the large titanite shards I could find in Smoldering Lake. I then killed a big worm with the most overpowered weapon in Dark Souls 3. Cheese. I picked up the last large titanite shard and then leveled up my weapon in Firelink. However, unfortunately, I was still 2 large titanite shards short, so I burnt some undead bone shards and then returned to Smoldering Lake. I continued on from the bonfire, but I'm pretty sure I was a bit underleveled. After getting to the next bonfire, I ran past everything in hopes to just find something, but to be honest, I never really knew this place well. Yeah, that's what I call statutory. Now, by this point, I was really sick of the game, but I knew I couldn't give up because of how close I was to the end. I dropped down this hole and an enemy an undead bone shard, and after being chased by a rat, I came across a black knight. I rolled for starters. Okay, but as long as I don't lose my 8,000 souls, it's okay. Are you fucking serious? Oh my god, I need large titanite fucking shards, man. I gave up on my search and returned to Firelink Shrine. I burnt an undead bone shard, upgraded my Estus, upgraded my pyromancy, and leveled up a little bit. I then switched things up a bit and returned to undead settlement, fighting the cursed rod of Greatwood. And I'm not even joking, to kill this boss, you literally just have to break his balls. Gave Lullit the transposing kill, and then got myself Havel's ring for some extra weight. I decided to stop being a bitch and went to go fight the old Demon King. Now, in reality, this boss should be easy. Okay, so, you know, first try was not the best. I think I've died in this run more times than Dark Souls 1 and 2 combined so far. But unfortunately, I live in a false sense of reality and believe that the government only give us vaccines to chip us. Anyway, second time's a charm. Ow. So that was easy. After returning to Firelink, I got the Chaos Bed Vestiges and did a small bit of leveling. My next idea was to kill the dancer so I can get access to all those beautiful, beautiful chunks. And with that, let's commence the montage. I was so close. No! I've come back and forth to this game all day because my Minecraft will not work. So I'm stuck on this. Whee! Oh sh!
Yeah, boy.
I did a bit of leveling and then returned to go fight Osiris, and on the way picked up all the chunks and opened the shortcut. It was now time to fight Osiris, but this time we used a different weapon. Cheese. See, you guys first tried Osiris. I decided not to fight Champion Gundy yet, but instead I went back to level up. After a long waited time, I upgraded my Sellsword Twin Blade. 2 and 6, I need 8. 8 chunks. I ran past everything in Lothric Castle, picking up all the chunks and the extra things that I might have needed. Are you really that fucking serious, dude? I returned to Firelink and upgraded my weapon to a +9 and upgraded my pyromancy to as much as I could. I started making my way towards the deacons, but first I had to kill the Crystal Sage, one of the hardest bosses in the game. Oh. After getting past some weird sacrificial campfire I came to one of the worst places in the game. Ow. I picked up an undead bone shard, and in this next area I ran past everything.
Open the door. Open the door.
Now, if you guys know me at all, you should know by now I'm just running past everything. Now, let's all be realistic. The deacons aren't a challenge. You just kill a bunch of people and then kill the main one when he comes. And with that, we are given the small doll, which grants us access to Irithyll. But before we get to Irithyll, we have to go back to the catacombs. Now, the only thing stopping me from getting to Irithyll was a pimped out skeleton who likes his jewelry a bit too much.
Pimp down, pimp in distress. Oh my God, pimp down, pimp in distress. I need $150 million.
After getting to Irithyll, we are kindly greeted by this. After getting the first bonfire, I returned to Firelink and did a bit of leveling. Now, can you guess what I'm gonna do next? If you said run past everything, you were right. After getting to the distant manor bonfire, I collected an undead bone shard, then returned to Firelink Shrine to burn them all. After opening the shortcut, I rushed to go fight Pontiff Sullivan. Let's fight Pontiff Sullivan. Die, motherfucker. First try. I returned to Firelink to do a bit of leveling and then made my way to Aldrich, but I had a bit of struggle with these two little pricks. Oh. Holy fuck, that's statutory, right? Yeah, that looks a bit sore. I won't scan. After taking a short elevator, I came to a familiar face. Oh my god, Dark Souls 1! Now I'm so fluid in the Silver Knights movement, as I had to spend countless hours farming Covenant items. I mean, just watch this. After a slight depressing change in scenery, we made our way to Aldrich. Are you fucking serious with the bow, like. I returned to Firelink, and you guessed it, did a bit of leveling. It was now time for Yorm, so now I had to go through the real hardest place in this game. Well, let me rephrase that. It wasn't hard at all, because I ran past everything. I killed the Mimic for an Estus shard, and then did a bit more running. After getting to the Profane Capital, I collected an Undead Bone Shard, then returned to Firelink to burn said Bone Shard, to upgrade my Estus, and to upgrade my Pyromancy. Now, it was time for Yorm.
Fireball!
You know, if you ever played Dark Souls 3 before, you know there's nothing to Yorm. It's pretty much just a big gimmick fight. And with that, Yorm is dead. I returned to Lothar Castle to fight the Dragon Slayer armor, and in fact, this time I got help. Naiksuchka. Alright. And with that, the Dragon Slayer armor was defeated, so now all that left to do was the two princes. After doing a small bit of leveling, I went to the Untended Graves to kill Gundyr. And if you think for a second I'm going to fight him without help, you're desperately wrong. I don't want this boss fight to drag on more than it has to, and to be honest, I'm too lazy to edit it again. So with the power of editing, I give you... I picked up the coil sword fragment and then sold all my souls. I'm returned to Firelink to level. I traded the coil sword fragment for a Titanite slab and then upgraded my weapon to a +10. It was now time for the Duke's Archives, and I fucking despise this place. So to counteract this, I ran past everything. On another note, I got invaded by this guy and he'd followed me the whole way to the boss. He didn't even try and kill me. Except for at the boss gate, which was a bit scummy, but to be honest, he's not good enough to kill me. Now before we continue, I just want to say I really struggle on this boss. I can never figure out his attack patterns, but the fact that I was able to first try him, it's actually just phenomenal. And now that the princes were defeated, it left us only one boss, the Soul of Cinder. Now the way you access this boss is very similar to Dark Souls 1. You need to get 4 Lord Souls, which opens up a gate. Now this is my favorite boss fight out of every single Souls games I've ever played. So I decided to make it as cinematic as I could for you all. Oh, here comes the music. Susan. Dark Souls 3, everybody. Now, for the final time in the Dark Souls trilogy, let's get to the ranking. In this run, I had died 20 times. I'm also going to give it a 4.5 out of 5 on the difficulty level, as it's a very fast paced game, and if you're new to the game, it'll take time to learn it. And of course, the game is getting a 5 out of 5 on the enjoyment scale. And of course, this is just my own opinion, so if you think other, please leave a comment letting me know how you feel, because I'd be very interested to see how everyone else feels. Now before I end the video, I want to give a quick thanks to everyone who tuned in today, and for those who have stayed for the whole series. It is greatly appreciated, and it's a great motivation for me. And I have to admit, it was great seeing all the feedback I got from everyone. Now, without further ado, subscribe!